Hello. Welcome to our bonus episode of The Circle 7 and 8 for Okay, Karen.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, Karen. So we are going to recap 30 minutes or less. Keep this train moving. Episode 7 and 8. Let's go ahead and start. Episode 7 starts with two new players that we are meeting.
They never cease to surprise us in the show. So two new people coming on.
Not one, but two. And they are Sean is 25 from New York City. Sean's a lady, by the way, and she is a social media plus size fashion person, expert. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, she does social media. She's in charge of it for some company or something with fashion. So
Sean uses her name, her age, but her best friend's picture.
Yes, she's officially catfishing.
Like a model, yeah.
Yes.
And then our second person is Bill, 27 from Chicago. It works in the auto industry. Pretty good on the eyes.
He's a average white dude, as he says. I guess we're going to say that if he says it. And he refers. That's what he says. He says he's just an average white dude, but he's attractive. And then he likes to call himself best friend Bill. Like Joey says, Uncle Joey. Bill says, I'm best friend Bill here. Like, he's trying to be everybody's best friend. So
you call yourself something like Bestie Betsy or something? Because I don't call myself Awesome Angela. Maybe I
is my name. So although Awesome Angela would work for you. The only time I use it is when I am making like a joke with my cousin, Matt Bauer. Shout out Matt Bauer or his brother John, when I'd be like, because I'm your bestie, obviously, about different things. Like I'd sign things like bestie instead of Betsy. But, not in general. I wouldn't call myself that. No.
I'm looking to see if my eyes look open. Sorry if I'm trying to dress up because my mom says I that more because I'm still in.
So that's why you're not wearing a t-shirt today, is because Miss Judy says you dress up.
Back out because they go with some of our podcast stuff, but whatever. We'll go. We only got 30 minutes, Angela. Okay, so
we got Sean and Bill.
Sean and Bill set up their profile pic. Everyone wakes up and they're like, what? Two new people? So, of course, they just dissect the pictures. They go through everything, look at everyone.
They do that, though. They do the trivia game before they can look at their profiles.
Oh, yes, the trivia game. Yes.
And I love how Alex, who's like new anyway, is all pissed that there's two new people. He's like, new people. I'm like, Alex, you're a new person.
He's bad. Yeah, Alex, calm down.
Right. So tell us about the trivia game.
Sean and Bill are captains, and they have to pick people, and they don't know these people, so they just pick them off of pretty much based off of what's their profile, what their picture looks like, and it's so funny when they start picking. Obviously, I think Shoebomb goes. No, Sean picks Sammy first, a girl, and then Bill picks Shoebomb first. And when they start picking, Joey is like, I don't want to be last. It's that feeling everyone gets on when you're in elementary school.
Oh, I remember this up through middle school in freaking gym class, especially when we had co-ed gym class. That was the worst.
Yeah. I was 40, so I was not last. I might have been last at other things, but I wasn't last like in.
Okay, Karen.
Sorry.
Excuse me for being the outcast in gym class.
It is.
All right, anyway, so they choose their teams, and then they have to choose, the captain has to choose, they give them the topic. So they say the first question is going to be about sports. Who on your team do you want to answer for your team to get it right? Which is really hard because they don't know them at all. They just are going off of looks and profile, which doesn't say anything really.
And I love that Bill is like, y'all, I got it. Let me do sports. And obviously Sean is like, oh, Adam, you look all sporty and hot.
Yeah.
And Alex is like, oh my gosh. And he has a sports book. He is going through.
Right. Like, how did he even, first of all, why did he even know to answer the question. You can look it up in a book. And second of all, like, that's what you get when you catfish. They're going to assume that you know sports because you've been talking that way. And well, he doesn't know that, but he has been talking like he's 40, you know? So anyway, he got it though, because he looked it up in the book.
Yeah. And then they have to name the film. It's Rebecca and Miranda. Miranda gets it. It's Sex in the City. Miranda gets it, Sex in the City. Rebecca puts Sex in the City.
And I'm sad for Seaburn on that.
Yeah, I just don't.
Well, because I could have made that mistake.
Oh, I could have. I've seen it. I like it, but sometimes I think, is it and or in?
Yeah. So I could have made that mistake, and then I just feel bad because he's like, oh, he let his team down. You know what I mean?
But he's not.
He's not.
Then Sammy versus Shuby, and y'all, it's the it's the Liberty Bell. It's Rocky statue. I don't know what else it is.
I don't remember.
But if you don't know that's Philadelphia, I mean, Shuby said Chicago,
Boston.
Boston, yeah, Boston.
I was very surprised by that he didn't know that.
I was shocked. He's from UCLA grad.
I'm proud of it. He gives off the nerd vibe. See, we're learning, Angela. Don't judge a book by its cover. Just gives off that nerdy vibe. Doesn't mean he really knows his stuff. Look at us. We are learning from the show.
Wow.
Okay, moving on. So the last one is music. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Joey and Chris, and it's two Jonas brothers, and there's one in between that's blacked out, and you had to name that one. And it is so funny to me because
this is hard.
Well, I knew Nick and Joe. They're the most famous of the two, I think. But so I was like, I don't remember the guy in the middle. And Chris, who's around our age, said, Steve? Just thinking.
Yes. He's like, I'm going to die if it's really Steve. I have no idea.
And Joey got it, didn't he?
He did, but I feel like he was kind of guessing also. Like he was like, I don't know. Because he was like Kevin, Joe. Like he seemed like he knew some of the names of the Jonas Brothers, but he didn't know which one was which. So he just guessed. I
was like, good job, Joey.
Yeah.
So Sean's team won, and then their prize was they get and this was kind of sad, they get a video from someone that they left back home.
Yeah, a video message. Oh, it was like,
I know, for Joey and Sammy, it was sad because they've been there the longest. Alex, who's been there 2 seconds, is like, oh, I miss him. Oh, come on. Yeah. But you know what I really felt bad for? Shoebomb and a little for Seaburn because they've been there so long, you know? Really who I felt bad for.
So I was just like, okay, watching video messages. And then when it got to Sammy, like Miranda and Alex was like, oh, okay. But then when it got to Sammy and Joey, I started tearing up. I was like, oh my gosh, like it just seemed really, really emotional for them. And then that, of course, made me emotional. But I was like, also, that's a crazy good prize. The other game's prize isn't that good.
Way good. So I didn't tear up, but it was sweet. But
well, I cry at everything, you know that. So then they go straight on to the rankings. Do you want to go through the rankings?
Rank you. No, they had to rank.
No, before the rankings, the girls have a chat and start talking.
And then the girls chat. You know, we don't see their rankings.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So the girls have a chat and it's freaking hilarious. We were laughing out loud about this because one of them said something like, I'm having my period, I just want to lay on the couch or something.
I was talking to my office today about this conversation because it makes me laugh out loud.
Yes. So Seaburn decides he's going to chime in as Rebecca. And I'm like, you know, why wouldn't you just say, like, that really sucks? Like, you know, hope you feel better soon or something. But no, he's like, yeah.
As we're talking about their period, his face is like, he's shocked. And he said, I didn't know y'all go into this much detail about it.
That wasn't even detail. All they said is they had cramps. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that slogan gets said, how many times a day does that get said by like the average woman?
Yeah.
I mean, every day though it's said by some woman. I'm cramping really bad. Today I said it. No, I'm joking.
So yeah, so that was hilarious. And then what you want to say? So Rebecca Seaburn
Yeah.
says, "Oh, I feel ya. You know, it's just for me, it's really bad. I get like really bad cramps all on my left side."
And the girls are like, left side. And Sammy says, left, is that your appendix? Which is not your appendix, Sammy. But still, everyone's thinking,
No.
it is the funniest conversation in the chat.
They obviously trust Rebecca, and no one thinks that she's a catfish.
No.
That's weird. And
After that, they don't think she's a catfish.
I think it's Miranda even says at that point. She's like, "That's so strange. I've never even heard of just like one side hurting."
Yeah, no. So, yeah, that is. So after that, then the rankings come out. They're revealed. Number 7 was Miranda, and I did kind of feel bad for her a little here.
I did, because she's grown on me a little bit. She's not my favorite, but she's also like grown on me a little bit through the course of watching her.
And Alex.
Yes, for sure. The other thing is, it's hard. I'm sure it's hard for her and Alex. Like, if you don't come in as one of the starting players, it's hard to then gain people's favor more than the people that have already been there, you know?
Right.
So she's 7. 6 is Adam.
Yeah, Adam. 4 is a tie, Chris and Sammy. And they're happy about it.
Yeah. They're in the middle.
Then it's Rebecca, Shoebaum, and Joey. And Rebecca is like, please let me be an influencer. I have been close so many times, and she comes in number 3.
That's her 3rd time as 3.
Yeah. Which I did not realize that was 3 times she'd been an influencer.
It's not a bad place to be, because they're right. If you are number 1 or number 2, you're going to be targeted later as more competition. Right. People in the middle are kind of like, we like you, but I don't see you as a threat.
Right.
So, and then Shuby number 2 and Joey number 1, which is like the dream team for them. Yeah. They're super excited.
Joey's so excited, and you're happy for Joey. You really are, you know.
And Shuby, and they're happy for each other. They're like, oh my gosh, because they like each other. But then they find out.
Oh, then they go up there, and it's like alert, alert, and the people that aren't the influencers are like, wow, they've already made their decision that fast. No. The alert is Shuby and Joey cannot discuss who they're getting rid of. They just start eliminating people.
They can save people. So they do it in reverse order.
Right. So it's whoever is not chosen, they're gone.
Yeah, whoever's not saved. So again, it's like picking teams.
Right.
Like, here we go again. And the last person standing, you're gone.
Episode 7 ends just like that. Joey's all upset.
And they give you one last teaser is Chris is like, they're going to do this in the group chat. Like, we are going to witness this, which is even worse. Because even if they were talking to each other, just the two of them, and saying, I saved this person, you saved that person, this is public. So no, everybody's going to know who you saved first and second and third. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Ugh, that's rough. That's really rough.
It is. Start episode 8 is like, what's going on? You're biting your nails. It's your edge of your seat. I mean, not really, but it's really good. They do a job of making it very intense for you. Joey picks Sammy and saves.
Surprise, right?
Yes. But he is loyal.
He is very loyal, and he said, this person has been loyal to me from the beginning and has saved me, and when that's good.
Like, it's not me, because she knew it's not her.
Yeah.
And say who Shuby saved first, of course.
No surprise, it saves Rebecca. Now, it may have been a little bit harder for him if he had to choose between Joey or Rebecca, but Joey's already safe, so of course he's going to pick Rebecca because Rebecca's like a sister to him, even though it's Seaburn. So that was no surprise there. And then
Joey, what you going to do, Joey? Your girl or your bro?
He's got to choose Chris, Adam, or Miranda to save?
He saves Chris.
What? I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. I could not believe that.
Well, Joey, that tells you a lot about him. He is, I think, he's just trustworthy. If you're a friend of his, you're a friend of his, period.
This is interesting to me too, because this shows me that Joey is not even really thinking as far as strategy and playing a game here. Because if so, he'd be like, I'll get rid of Chris. Chris is number 4 in the rankings this week, and people like Chris. So
right.
Miranda's number 7. I win favor with Miranda, or I save Miranda. I win favor with her, and she's not a threat. I'm number 1 this week, and she's number 7. But he doesn't think that way. He just thinks.
If he would have done that, I think it would have rocked the boat on the other people that have been there the longest too. Becca, Shuby, and they could have very easily turned against Joey.
They might have had hard feelings because this was public, so they knew. If it was private, they wouldn't have known necessarily. But since it was public, you're right, they could have. But Joey is just like, okay, I'm gonna be dedicated to my people, and it's not like him and Chris get along and are like besties or anything, but he is still dedicated.
Chris, so that's another reason Mom was happy. So then tell him who Shuby sent, because it's all up to Shuby basically. Alex or Miranda. I mean, I
freaking Adam.
Oh yeah. So that's all I gotta say.
And I don't really know why he chose Adam.
Because they had a little heart-to-heart a second ago. That's it. Remember?
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess we didn't really see anything between Shuby and Miranda. But Miranda's very flirty and very forceful, and I feel like Shuby would be like, what am I supposed to do with that?
And I think you would say, oh, she's trying to do this to play the game, even though he doesn't see it when Rebecca does it.
Right. Which he should, because that's pretty obvious that Rebecca's just super sweet all the time. Okay, so now Miranda's sad that she has to leave, and then she's going to see someone. Tell us who she goes to see.
She goes and sees Sammy. No, she goes and sees Joey.
Oh gosh. Okay, what did you think of this?
Do what?
What did you think about their interaction when they met?
Very, you've known each other, 48 hours?
Online.
7, maybe?
Online 48 hours.
Yeah. Good, yeah. So, of course, I'm true. I really like, it's just blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then they kiss. Blah.
Yes.
So.
But, he's like, would it be too much to ask for a good
I'm taking you out on a good date. Please. Are you even going to remember her name?
It's Joey. He'll remember.
Yeah. Okay. So, we meet a new player. Dun, da, da, da. And this is our last player that we meet.
The last new person. So we're not adding more people after this, which I was glad. I felt the same way as Sammy. Sammy's like, no, I can't deal with more new people. I was yeah, this is enough. Let's not add any more people to this mix.
So this guy is Ed. Ed is 23 from Pennsylvania. But on his profile picture, he says he's 26. I guess those 3 years really make a difference.
I think he's trying to play it. First of all, he doesn't know how old the other people are. So, he hasn't met everybody. So if he's thinking everybody is 30 to 40, then I'm sure he'd be like, let me bump it up a little bit so I seem more likable. You know what I mean?
Ed is a helicopter person. I don't know, engineer maybe. But the big thing about Ed, no, he's not a catfisher. He just brought his mama along with him. And his mama is Tammy. She's 52. She's a real estate agent. So Ed is writing, and Tammy's sitting beside him saying, now put a mojo with that. Mojo? You mean mojo or emoji? Which one?
Yeah. And Tammy she also says things like, he's going to be like, hey, sweetie, what's up? Or hey, hon, or blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, no, don't say that yet. And sometimes she's right. Other
Yeah.
times I'm like, no, Tammy, that's not a
Some
good day.
would, I'm like, oh, that dates you. I
Yeah.
mean, it does. So, so then they all see and they look at his profile and everyone has a group chat. Everyone. And there's lots of chats. I don't know if you want to talk about any in particular. I just put there's lots of chats.
I don't think so. Until after the painting contest, then I had some, Oh, Joey tells everybody to kiss Miranda. Like that was happening in the group chat.
He kissed her, which was Sammy was so excited. So the apartments have got to be soundproof because Sammy screams a lot.
Yeah.
Like really screams, like when someone scares me, screams.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have an alert. There's a game. They give you a person and you have to draw their picture, which is so bad, y'all. I wouldn't be able to do it, and some of them can't do it. Do you want to go through who they did or what?
I don't need to go through each of them individually. Some of them were funny. I mean, if they've already watched this episode, so they probably remember. But
I'll just
go ahead.
Go ahead. You want me to go?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to point out a couple that I thought. Adam painting Sean. Why do you have to paint the whole background purple or pink? Like that was so weird, and it was bad. And Sammy doing Joey with the Lady in the Tramp scene with Miranda. That was cute. Bill doing Adam. Sexy Adam actually looked like Alex.
Okay, I wanted to comment on this one because Bill is the only one that said something negative, and he just got there. And so he was like, nice, too nice, and people caught on to it, and they were like, okay, Bill, like, really?
Why would you do that? You're new too. Don't go after people. But some people have that personality where they can do that, but not me.
Well, I mean, you're new on the block. He literally has been there in 24 hours, and nobody really knows Bill yet. So I thought it was interesting that he was going to just like right off the bat, like, you don't know if everybody likes Adam. You haven't even been there.
Right.
So
yeah, I forgot that he did that, and I didn't think that. Of course, I'm not that one to call some. Well, I don't think I am, but I wouldn't do that in a group.
Yeah.
Hi, Karen.
So those are the only ones I wanted to mention. It was just funny how people went about it. Shoe Bums was like the worst. And I feel like Joey just did hashtags and did stuff to be funny.
Right.
Which is fine because he can't paint, which is great. It's whatever. And then who had Chris? Whoever had Chris looked like they did like a unicorn, eyeshadow.
Yeah, coming out with his hair. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Fun.
Chris did one of Shuby's, and that was actually,
that was good. Yeah, that was probably the one that I was the most impressed with as far as actual painting. So,
right.
Okay.
So Sean kind of goes in a private chat with Chris because she's feeling bad. Why are you feeling bad, Sean? Oh, because you're catfishing and basically lying to everyone?
Yeah.
She tells Chris, I need to tell you something. And then she invites the rest of the girls. And
which is just Rebecca and Sammy.
Yeah, because it is heavy testosterone.
Yeah.
And she says these photos are not me. And she goes to send the real pics, and then the episode ends.
This was interesting to me, that I feel like she hasn't even been there that long, and then she has a change of heart, and I was like, did you really come on? Like, I feel like Seaburn and Karen Mercedes, so Seaburn, Rebecca, Karen Mercedes, Alex Adam, like, they chose to use different pictures in a different persona, or even just different pictures like Mercedes did, to win the game. They're like, yeah, I'm using different pictures because I want to win. And I wonder if Sean really was that determined, or if she just kind of was like, she gets in 24 hours, 48 hours, and she's like, actually now Like, is she really there to win the game, or was this like, or does she want to like kind of make a point? I don't know. It just seemed weird that she was already telling everybody the truth, like kind of early.
She really hasn't. I mean, she likes Chris and she feels like she's formed a bond with Chris. But you're
Girls.
24 hours you've been there.
Yeah. And she talked to the girls, I think, once or twice.
Yeah.
But not like, I don't know. She seemed more bonded with Chris. But anyway, so I just thought that was interesting and it'll be
Also,
interesting to see in the upcoming episodes where that goes. Like, is she going to tell the guys? Is this going to mean people like her more and rank her higher? Or is it going to be people like her less because she lied? Like, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens.
soon, episodes 9 and 10. Hope you enjoy this. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Enjoy the circle. See you next time.
Bye-bye.